Good evening, everyone. And today we gonna learn how to create a new application in Oracle FCCS. Uh, Before we start creating a fresh new application, we must know for what purpose the FCCS implementation, like for what purpose we are creating the application, and what is the main motive of creating FCCS new application. So I would like to tell you about the feature or the purpose of using FCCS. So first purpose would be consolidation. Second, console. I can say console and financial close. Third is going to be financial close process. Fourth, financial close process, or we can say supplemental data also. So from Oracle family, you have a product cell, which we call HFM migration from FCCS, which is option one. If you are customizing existing application, so this is going to be the option one. And second, if you are creating application from the scratch, from the very new beginning, right? So creating a fresh new implementation, we have to go to the application first of all. So okay, just a minute. This would be the today's credential for us. So from here we gonna start creating a new application. Let me log in into the application. Before logging into the application, we have to simply delete the existing application, because that's the reason why we can create the fresh new application. So this is the existing application. For to delete the application, first of all we have to go to the application. Okay, and then we gonna go to overview, and from overview we have to go to this action button, right? So here from the action button, there are two ways of creating a new application. We can export all the data, and let me remove the application first, and then I'll show you. Okay, so this actually here what is it written? Application removal. This application will delete the application and all of its content. The action cannot be undone. Okay, so as I'm going to delete the application, it going to create application from the scratch. Okay, so let's click yes and delete the application. It will take a few minutes to delete. Okay, why is taking so much time? Okay, it is loading. Let's try do it again. It's causing trouble, I think. Okay, I'm gonna close this application and open it again. So application hasn't deleted yet. Okay, so application has been deleted. Now we gonna log in into the application. So to log in into application, we have to again sign in first, because this is the okay. Just a minute. Okay, there is a problem. I have deleted the application and see, server is not available for this. Okay, I'll try login into the another application. Okay, हो गया हो गया Sorry for the trouble. So this is what I wanted to show. In here in the financial consolidation and cloud service, what we can do is we can create a new application, or simply we can migrate it from the snapshot which we are having in the application only. So I'm not going to migrate the application because today we are learning about how to create a new application. So I'm gonna jump into creating a new application. So from here I can start creating it from the scratch. Okay, so as I mentioned it at first, like, for what is the main purpose of creating a new application. So the purpose of creating new application or using FCCS is consolidation, consolidation plus financial close, and financial close plus process. Fourth will be consolidation plus financial close process plus supplemental data. So this is the option 1, like what is the purpose of using FCCS. And here we are creating a new fresh application. So first of all we gonna give the name for this application. The name would be financial application, or I can use it as so the name I will be giving as vision console. So we can, as I have taken the short form abbreviation of this vision console. The reason is I could not take the full username of it, because this application only takes 8 characters in it. So this is the reason why I'm choosing every abbreviation for this application name. So this abbreviation states vision console, and in the description we can give what is the main purpose of creating the application. So in description I would like to write application description gonna be financial consolidation or console, I can say. Second would be financial closing. Third would be disclosure about the application, and disclosures, and lastly I'm gonna write EPM FCCS. Okay, so in name we only have 8 character limits, but in the description we can give enhanced description, detailed description in for creating an application. In description was, as I have mentioned, 4 as I mentioned these many points over here. So my main motive is going to be main motive of creating an application would be these 4 points. We're gonna do financial consolidation, financial closing, disclosure, and EPM financial FCCS. Okay, then we gonna move forward with this next button, and here the time period is 12 months, 13 months. So here we have to define the periods, months. So the application can be on 12 months and 3 months. So 12 months gonna be January, February till December, and it could be 13 months also. So what is 13 months? I will explain it in the Excel sheet. Okay. So basically 12 months is normal, right? Taking 12 months is normal, but Jan, Feb, it could be Jan, I could say Feb, March, Feb, March till December it would be, and 30 months, and 13 months it would be months. In 13 months it gonna take one extra month. Like if I say months, so like gonna be Jan, Feb till December. So in 13 would be 1 month extra. So we can do year month adjustment. So the 12th month will be our 1st December till to, or I can say 30th, right? 30th December, and our 13 month would be 31st December. So this is our 12th month, and this is a 13 month here. So this arrangement is done. So because in the year end, whatever is our year end, we make adjustment entry, we close the book. So all those adjustment entry can be done into one particular date. That would be known as 13 months period. So it is for an easy navigation, easy understanding, because if we wanted to see the adjustment and closing entry, so we make lots of entry, so it will get combined with the other entries. The general entry I am talking about on 30th December. In case 31st December this is not segregated, then we will get the normal general entry also. It would be difficult for us to identify which period final adjustment entry for the year close we are passing it. So if we select 13 period, then this way period formation will be done, like January, February, March, and the entry is going to be 31st till 31st for the 13 month. Okay, so this is generally done according to the needs of our client. Everything, when we configuring, every detail will be provided to our clients. So here we have to provide the start and end year. So this 24 to 33 would be 9 years, and if we want, we can increase and decrease it, whatever we can do it. Then first month is January here. If it's January, some clients have April also, financial April to March, and similarly it depends on the client's need, right? I'm gonna take January only. So HYTD, it's create HYTD members. So HYTD is half year till this. So if I'm going to enable this half year till date members, it will create half year members period dimension and HYTD view dimension members. Okay, so let me explain it to the Excel. HYTD, there is one dimension which is view, where we have YTD figures, year till date. Okay, if we enable HYTD, if this feature is enabled, then one member will be created which in view dimension, which will be known as HYTD members. Okay, here in view dimension. So if we enable this feature HYTD member, HYTD half year till date, so new dimension will be created for for year till date member in where in view tab, under the view tab HYTD. Okay, so if the clients are making reports for half year, and so then in that case we can enable this HYTD members. This is the main currency of our clients or the requirements of the application. We can select whatever the currency we are reporting is done. Okay, so currently I'm gonna use the USDT only, and if the entity is working in many countries, besides USD you have many other currencies, like then we can enable this feature multi-currency, right? Okay, so when we enable this multi-currency, in the next screen here in the features option, we have to decide our CTA and SITA. So if we enable, I'm gonna write it here, if we enable multi-currency, it gonna provide with exchange rate, and one currency will be converted into the another currency. Like if we are taking INR, then it's going to be converted to USD. If we gonna enable this multi-currency feature, right, we gonna get the option to translate the currency into the currency which we have to work, or with the currency clients want us to work on. Okay, so currently we gonna work in the one currency only. We cannot make the note would be, we cannot make reports in 10 currency. So if we have to work in multiple currency, then we have to enable the feature of multi-currency. So if there is multi-currency, we will have CTA or SITA. Okay, CTA slash SITA, CICTA. This is currency translation adjustment, and SITA is comprehensive income currency translation adjustment. So both SITA and CTA is going to be recorded into the adjustment when the gains and loss, I'm talking about the gains and loss basically. So the translation of currency is would be done in that case. And for example, if there is 100, if it is 100 USD and we are converting in this into rupees, so okay, so it will be 100 rupees. So this would be it would create some difference because there is a exchange rate policy. So if we convert 100 USD to rupees, so there are going to be difference in so how much it would be. It going to be let's suppose 2 rupees. Okay, so the difference from 100 USD to rupees, the difference is going to be CTA or SITA, the difference of conversion of USD till with the rupees. So this currency or multi-currency option is going to be decided by the clients only, which set CTA for basically CTA is used for translation, while SITA this lies in comprehensive statement. When we create charts of account, we use SITA as a comprehensive account. Okay, while CTA lies in balance sheet only. CTA lies in balance sheet and CTA comprehensive chart of accounts. So if so any account from income statement is getting converted into so it can be the difference can be adjusted into SITA account. So let's get back to the application. Then CTA and SITA will come in this feature, this option here in the features. Then I'm gonna click on next. So now we have to provide the features. Make period and movement dense. So by default this is already chosen. If we choose it, then our period and movement will be dense dimension. There are 2 dimensions in FCCS. I mean if I have to define this dense dimension, it would be like all the other dimensions in FCCS such as product, entity are going to be sparse dimension, and account dimension is going to be dense. If I just uncheck this, then only the account dimension will be dense. This means it going to be dense means in depth, right? The account dimension is going to be enlarged, like the hierarchy of the account dimension is going to be so dense. So if I check this, when I check this, right, so not only account dimension will be dense only, but we gonna get other dimensions in FCCS would be product and entity are going to be sparse dimension. So the members of a sparse dimension are generally stored member. This store dynamic calc, another thing I'm going to tell you after the creation of the application only. So in FCCS we have much data like in account dimensions rather than period or movement. Okay, so we will uncheck this, because if we check this, right, account dimension will be dense dimensions. Now so here as I uncheck this, right, so account dimension is only going to be dense dimension, while period and what other entity, if I can say period, entity or view going to be sparse. Now there is types of balance sheet hierarchy. So generally we have traditional balance sheet hierarchy. This is generally we work on the traditional balance sheet hierarchy or traditional balance sheet approach only. Net asset approach is one, where equity is equal to assets minus liability. This is just simple. Okay, So in balance sheet approach, we have normally assets. In balance sheet I'm talking about. In balance sheet I'm gonna use the abbreviation of this. In balance sheet we generally use asset is equal to liability plus equity, but in net asset approach but in net asset approach this would be equity equals asset minus liability. Okay, so in balance sheet we have asset equals to liability plus equity approach, and in net asset we have equity equals asset minus liability approach. So in chart of account we have asset first, and when if we drill it down, right, we have in traditional approach there are the hierarchy is created where we can see liabilities and other equity. So in chart of account would be different. If this is net asset approach, the hierarchy would be different, the chart of account would be different. Then move forward, moving back to the application. Generally traditional balance sheet approach only used. So we have chosen this, and basic is for a very small firm where the direct cash flow is done. So in that case we use basic only, and by default it is the company generally use indirect cash flows only. But if we choose basic, we will get the option whether we have to choose the cash flow or not, like because it's going to be direct cash flow only. So small firms generally have direct cash flow feature only. By default, traditional and net asset we have indirect cash flow only. Then we enable multi-currency over here in details. Here multi-currency. So here in feature option, our CTA is going to be in the balance sheet. So CTA has been enabled. If we do not check it, CTA will not be enabled. So if we want SITA, we have to keep this in the comprehensive statement. So this local gap, if I choose this CTA account built to comprehensive income statement, then automatically local gap which will going to be in the SITA comprehensive income statement. Okay, so I will get back to the balance sheet. So this is the only effect of the multi-currency. Now talking about the multi-gap. So if the organization requires multi-gap reporting, that is into IFRS and US GAAP, then we will enable multi-gap. Okay, now as I have told you, there are 11 dimensions. Okay, 11 custom dimensions, 11 standard dimensions and 4 customs. But if we enable multi-gap, we will have only 3 custom lab, because multi-gap is custom dimension. Okay, so if we enable multi-gap, then we gonna have only 3 custom dimension. So for the manual adjustment, for the this multi-gap is used for the for this feature only, as I have told you, I have explained this feature of the feature of the multi-gap earlier. So if we choose multi-gap as manual adjustment, the hierarchy would be different of the multi-gap dimension, and if we take calculated, then it would be different, where we have to input the data in the calculated form. So multi-gap is equals to IFRS plus local gap. Okay, this is a manual. So in calculated, we will have IFRS is equal to multi-gap minus local. That would be the calculated adjustment. This will change with this feature of enabling yes for the manual, and with the if we choose the feature of yes with the calculated, then it would be different with the manual. So this would be like, as I'm going to show when I'm going to show the practical of this, it would create it would give you the better it would give the better understandings of manual adjustment and calculated adjustment regarding with the multi-gap. So multi-gap means reporting into variances, where multi-gap reporting is IFRS and US gap. So this is a reporting tool. So if the client does reporting in multi-gap, then we will enable this, and we can choose manual adjustment and calculated adjustment accordingly. So let's move forward. Since multi-gap is enabled, now custom dimensions remains only 3. As we can see, the custom dimension here, dimension 1, dimension 2, dimension 3 and 4 is not enabled over here, because the reason is we have enabled multi-gap feature already. So I'll repeat it again. We have 11 standard dimension and 4 custom dimensions, but as we enable multi-gap, we only get 3 custom dimensions to input the data. Okay, 4 we cannot input because multi-gap has taken place. So I will give the name of one custom dimensions, which I would name as product. Okay, I can have location also, line of business. So this dimension is generally provided by the clients. We give the input according to the client's requirement. So currently I'm doing the demo, that's why that's the reason I choose product, location, line of business as 3 custom dimensions. Now we move forward to consolidation general adjustment. Now if we passing consolidated general entries, then in that case we will check on yes with workflow, then we will enable this. By default it was not no, but as we have to pass the general entry, we have to choose the option for yes. So if we can choose it, right, if we have to enable it, but with the workflow and without the workflow. So with workflow means there would be audit trail, and there would be one user who going to create it, and he or she will be save it and submit it. Then there would be another user on the top of it who could be approver. After he approves, then only general entry, whatever the general entry we are passing for, it will be considered or going to be posted. So this is a workflow, like a standard hierarchy is being created, like one person is supervising and other is approving it, and similarly the workflow is uh, and similarly the general entry is posting. So this creates a workflow. So that's, and without workflow means the one who does it but do not one who does it, save it, post it, save it, and that's it. So there's no one on the top of it, that no one is going to supervise. So if you want unbalanced general, then unbalanced general is, even if the general entry debits and credits would have to be equals. If in that case, if in case of ungeneral, uh, uh, the debit and credit is not matchable, right, then in that case we can also save it, the for consolidated general entry. For that we have to move, we have to create, or we have to make period and movement dimension dense. If I make this, then only this gets enabled. Okay, currently I don't know why it's not enabling it, but as we as we click on yes with workflow, then only this feature got enabled, unbalanced general. But currently I don't know why this feature is not getting enabled. So anyway, okay, let me check on this. Okay, now this got enabled. So I didn't see this feature has been checked or not, but as we going to check on this feature, make period and movement, so this feature of unbalanced general is going to be enabled. But for that we have to have period and movement dense. So for if we are making only account dimension dense, so this feature is going to be disabled. We cannot make the input, or we cannot do unbalanced general. Now intercompany data. So if we have intercompany and the transaction between parent and the subsidiary, or maybe between two subsidiaries, if we having such kind of transaction, then we enable this intercompany. So again tracking and tracking and non-tracking, or without tracking, is similar to this with workflow or without workflow. So in this also there is a person on the top of it, or there is a feature, there is a, I can say there is a person who is who is tracking, or who is giving a supervision, who is supervising and checking our work. Then only this feature gets enabled, like in the intercompany I'm talking about. So detail of the every transaction is going to be taken place if we enable this tracking, or we can have without tracking, where is no supervision is provided. So we can simply save the data without having supervision on it. So these are addition, subtraction, ignore. Generally we have by default addition. How would how the entries would be aggregated, so that's why we choose the addition. So we should add to children. The children amount is going to be added to the parent amount at the top. That's why we choose addition. And let me enable this feature as yes. So if we are using any ratios for certain kinds of reports, so out of these four we can select, like liquidity ratio, asset management ratio, profitability ratio, leverage ratio. So if we are working with the ratios, we have to select any of, or we can select four of it. So I will select all of them. So ratio members gonna created in account dimension. Okay, ownership management. we enable this. With the help of this only, we will be able to do equity pickup and partners elimination, or I can see we gonna with the enable of the this feature, we provide the percentages of consolidation, like in our like in previous lecture I have shown the feature of feature of consolidation, where I have changed the input from 100 to 50, 50 to 20, and similarly the data, the amount of minority interest and for minority has been changed from 100 to 20, similarly like 80 to 20. So with this feature enable, we gonna get the feature of this equity pickup percentage and partner elimination. And here accordingly we also have to give the input to the application who is the subsidiary, and we also have to tell the application who is the holding company and who is the subsidiary company. So this known as ownership management, where we define the percentage, where we define the control, and we define the types of consolidation. Which type of consolidation is it? Like if I say if it is joint venture, equity, or cost of fair value of consolidation, and or subsidiary, like with this feature we have to define to the application which feature of consolidation we are choosing among four, which feature we are choosing. For example, if we are choosing subsidiaries, then accordingly we have to define to the application which with which ownership method we are working on it. So I will make it a yes. Then we have equity, yes, with equity pickup or partner elimination. We can enable both. So equity pickup as a different topic is related to equity, which I am going to cover in further classes. And so if we want, we can enable it, otherwise we can leave it. It's not compulsory. Other options, this is for other data members, we will include it if we want. Then moving forward, so then we have translated currency input. Here in the translated currency input, parent input, control. So if we check this, so this translated currency input, if we in foreign currency example, we translate the currency from one currency to another. Like the example which I have taken here, 100 USD has been converted into INR. So this features does that only. So in translated currency input, we do not have to convert it. In fact, we can straight away put the translated currency into the application. Then we have parent input. So in parent input is like we can make inputs at the parent level. Like we do not have to enter the amount in the chair and then children, then the segregated amount is going to be rolling up to the parent. No, if we enable this feature, we can directly input the any amount in the parent only, instead of inputting in the children or the child. So if we enable this, we can input the amount in the parent currency at the parent level. Then control to date view storage. By default, the consolidation and translation, there are these two rules are there. Once we enter the data to run consolidation, we have to run the rule of consolidation and transaction, we have to enable this feature, control to the data view storage. So whenever we do that, it stores all the view members. I told you right here the view members YTD and HYTD. So all the values of these members YTD and HYTD or QTD or HYTD is enabled. So then this also, like, but if we check this, we console it, we translate it, and the values get stored in YTD. Okay, for the view. If I write UTD also, right, then YTD and UTD amount is segregated, and the total aggregated amount is going to be in the YTD with the enable of this feature. Okay, so currently I'm going to uncheck it. So if I enable, so we got an option to store the view data to this feature, to control to date view storage. We are controlling to date view, so this is to date view. Okay, so this yearly to date, this, so we are controlling this too. We are not letting enable this. So the figure will going to save this in this member. So if we are making it enable, so these two figure amount is going to be in the HYTD. So these is complicated feature, so we only choose according to the requirement of the client. These 5 feature of I'm talking about. So rest all we can make changes every time. Now what remaining, then we have contribution input, this one. So this is a new member, contribution input. If I enable this, contribution members get created. So contribution member will be there in the consolidation dimension with we do it only when the contribution is required, when the need is there. Then first we have to understand the consolidation engine, then we can simply enable this contribution input. Now we have combined year and period as a single dimension, so both year and period will be combined together. So right now what happens, if I choose, we have data for 27 08 25. So to see the data, we have to select year financial year 25, and the month we have to choose is August. So to combine this, we have to combine this period and year by together, then we will have this August 25. So it can be combined once we enable this feature, combine year and period as a single dimension. This helps in creating this helps in reporting. So when we creating data forms and report, if it's not combined, then we have to create two rows and two columns of this particular things. So with this feature, if we enable this, we have period and year together in the single column. So now if we go in the bottom, so we have supplemental data. So supplemental data is a data which is not accounting data. So for example, number of people, head count, certain drivers, KPIs, they all combine and come in the supplemental data. So they are have no particular currency. So that's the reason it is known as supplemental data. If we enable this, then the supplemental data enables supplemental data feature gets enabled into the application. And as I mentioned, KPIs, so then so the KPIs is key performance indicators. Then we have, so key performance indicator is not in currency, head count, number of employees, or maybe life insurance. So these all are not in these all data combines and comes into the supplemental data, because the reason of coming into the supplemental data, because they do not have a particular currency. So that's the reason why it comes in the supplemental data, KY, head counts, and etc. So these all will come in the supplemental data. So if the client wants it to work in this data, and he wants to work on that, then we will enable it, this supplemental data collection. Now we have enterprise general. So this enterprise generals is when we can prepare, approve, and post general directly to the general ledger without any hindrance. Okay, so we generally post the general entry from ERP to this system, to the FCCS. Now let's press the next. If I enable this, then we gonna get the feature to prepare the general entry, and we get the feature of approve and post general direct to the general ledger. Okay, now if we make next, then we gonna get the preview of this whole application. We can see and we can make edit. If there is a feature which we do not have to enable, we can simply go back this in features option, and we can simply uncheck it, or we can change the options from it. And so this is the reason why we are having a review option. So finally the application can be created after creating this, after clicking on this create. So this review option is only for if we have to make any changes, and otherwise there is no such such changes we have to make. We simply can click on create. So the application creation status has been proceed. Now we have to wait till the application has been created. So whenever we remove the application, whenever we put the backup, whenever we take the backup, and so it will take a little time, creation of the application, because much of the metadata and data has been loaded. And similarly for the if we import the data for the new application, right? So it takes a little time to in the creation of the new application. So after as the application got created, we can see whatever the feature we have enabled in the application. Like we have enabled so many features, like we have chose HYTD members enabled, currency we have chosen for USD, multi-currency. All this feature is going to be enabled in the inside the application only. It will take a time to create a new application, so meanwhile we have to wait for it. Once the application is created, then in that application I'm going to show you the dimensions, the 11 standard dimension and the 3 custom dimensions which we have created. The product I'm talking about, I'm going to review it from the application only, and we can also get a fresh look of wait a minute, I'll show you the application. So this is the snapshot of the application. So here, whatever the input we have taken for the application, as suppose we have taken financial year 2025, so instead of 22 is going to be reflecting as 25 over here. The year also going to be reflecting, as we have chosen for month to 12 years month, then the 12 years month is going to be reflecting over here, then from December till December 30, right? And all this the feature which we have chosen for, then accordingly in the dashboard, in this cluster is going to be coming up accordingly. So let's check on the application. Is okay, the application has been successfully created, has been successful. So let's press it OK, and let's move forward into the application interface. All right, so yeah, so this is the feature which we have enabled for financial year 2024. And if we have to provide the user image, we can input the user image also from here. And so this is the current interface of the application which we have created. Tomorrow in the next class I'm going to showcase the dimensions and the other features of the application which we can which we have which we have inputted for the creation of the new application. So this is the global header of the application. Here in the global header of the application, we have given the name of the application as Vision Console, for VISNCNL. So the name reflected over here. I hope you like the session, and if there is any doubt, put a comment on it. And thank you for listening. This is Shivam Rador, and if you have any doubt, pin out in the comment section. So thank you.